Welcome back. CP Trades here back with another trade recap and weekly outlook at the same time for you guys. First, I want to go over the trade I took on Friday, and after, I want to go over the charts and see what the coming week, will most likely present us. And yeah, let's start with the trade we have taken on Friday. It was a loss. Yeah, pretty embarrassing, but nothing to do about it. Yeah, let's go over the structure, what I saw and what trade I took. It was a pretty ass trade, to be honest. There was no really real structure for it. I kinda acted out of FOMO. I don't know why, but I feel a little bit more FOMO. Lastly, I don't know why I have to get more calm about it again and don't let myself get too attached to the outcome. That may be the cause of it. But yeah, my bias was bearish. Yeah, first I know a couple weeks ago I said I was bullish because we swept these lows, inversed this gap here, and formed relative equal highs to the all-time highs. But after inversing this gap, I consider these highs as engineered liquidity and protect it until we take out these external lows here, which also are relative equal lows here. And yeah, what also gave me a bit more of a bearish sentiment is that we have reacted to this bearish daily fair value gap pretty significantly. We tapped it, closed inside this candle range. We closed bearish and got extreme big displacement out of it. That's extremely bearish for me. That also confirms my narrative that we want to go at least here. So my idea was, yeah, okay, before going market open, I looked at the charts and saw, okay, we tapped this, we tapped the daily FVJ here. We got pretty significant displacement out of it. So I'm bearish. Yeah, we took out these lows, but I'm still bearish. That maybe was the first mistake I've done, because yeah, target was already taken. So yeah, but I didn't see that at the time. I saw that we already reacted to this 4-hour FVJ. We tapped it, closed significantly, formed a big wick, and also after tapping this 4-hour FVJ, we got this nice inverse fair value gap here, and in the hourly time frame, and we formed relative equal lows here at market open. So yeah, that was pretty obvious at that time. That was pretty obvious for me that we engineered liquidity here just to take it out later on. And I still think it doesn't really look that bad. I think it was pretty, yeah, I think it's not that bad of a read, to be honest. I also thought this high getting swept, that for me made this high here protected, and this sweep here sponsored this move down. So my best case scenario was that we get a retracement into this fair value gap here, and then some form of confirmation to the downside. And yeah, that's where I made that's where I got into my trade. Yeah, I waited. We got market open again, formed some more engineered liquidity here. We took out this low, but that wasn't really concerning for me. So I still looked for shorts. Then after we got this inverse here, I took my short So right here, bang. Wanted to see these generated equal lows and got immediately clapped. What was bad about this trade is that I should have recognized conditions, because if we really would have been bearish, we would not have inversed this gap for example. So that was pretty unconscious from me. Like I mentioned before, FOMO took over and I took this not really high probability trade. Yeah, I also was a bit over leveraged. I didn't really realize how big of a move that was, over 100 points. So even with one micro, I was a bit over leveraged, which then led to a bigger loss, which also got me a bit more emotional, to be honest. It was pretty hard to accept that loss. But yeah, we did it. There's nothing we can do about it. We come back stronger next week. And yeah, we will just keep going. There's nothing to do about it. I'm not gonna cry about it. I don't wanna make trading harder than it than it already is. So yeah. Yeah, then let's go over to the weekly outlook, what I wanna see for the coming week. I'm still really, really bearish, as I said. I still consider these highs here as engineered liquidity. I want to see a sweep of these lows here first before we go back up. So after getting this sweep here, these highs are no longer protected in my eyes. That's my idea, but that's a bit far off. Let's focus on more recent structure, and we see that we still have these equal lows here left, relative equal lows, which we have formed on Friday. So we tapped this 4-hour FVJ, we swept out this liquidity here, we formed a nice wick and we got displacement to the downside, so that if we are really bearish, there's no reason to come back up here. Unfortunately, there's no real for hourly FVJ here that we can form some narrative for shorts for. Yeah, and there are two possible scenarios here. One, the best case scenario is that we form another low here before taking it out and we get some form of retracement. For example, into this 50-minute FVJ here. So that's the only thing I see right now. Let's mark it out in orange. So yeah, that's the best case scenario for me. If we get some form of engineering of more liquidity here, of more stacked lows, retracement, slow retracement into this 50-minute FVJ, then some big displacement to the downside, which then allows us to take some shorts off of it, continuation shorts. Or if you are more aggressive, you can wait for some internal manipulation inside this gap right here, if you are more aggressive. But I would like to play it more safe because I'm in a bit more drawdown right now. So quality over quantity for me. Yeah, that's the best case scenario for me, and which would make it the next two scenarios I have in my mind are what we're gonna do after taking out this low. The second best scenario would be if we get some real displacement through these lows here and not some form of sweep. Because if we get some nice displacement through these lows with some nice higher time frame, bearish FVJ, we can base some more shorts off of it, targeting these lows or at least having these as some narrative for being bearish in the higher time frames. So then that would allow us to get some more narrative for shorts, some more structure. But if we only should get something like this, a sweep and a big reaction to the upside, I would be a bit more cautious because that would not confirm my narrative for these external lows to get targeted. So we would have to wait for some form of displacement either to the upside or preferably to the downside. Yeah, that's everything I see right now. Let's take a look at the economic calendar, and as we see, we have bank holiday on Friday and Monday no news, so we have at least two no trading days, for me at least. I wanna, yeah, go over the other days. So Tuesday is tradable. I think it's okay to be traded. Wednesday, I don't really know about Wednesday because we get Fed chairman speaking at 9 a.m., which is pretty close to market open. And also it would be the day before I don't know what kind of NFP that is. Is it NFP? Is it the Friday one or the Wednesday one? Ah, yeah, it is the Friday one. Okay. So yeah, it's day before NFP and this new Fed guy is talking, so I don't really know about that. But Thursday as well, I consider as a pretty obvious trading day. So my focus lays on Tuesday and Thursday primarily. Wednesday can be traded, for example, on evals, but yeah, I'm not really sure about it. Yeah, that's everything I had to cover for today. I think you have taken some knowledge out of it. I hope I could enlighten you for the coming, for your analysis, for your personal analysis. Yeah, and as I always say, stay safe, trade well, stay true to yourself and to your roots, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.